Across Southeast Asia, transnational criminal networks are luring thousands of vulnerable job seekers into illicit scam operations where they are forced to commit financial fraud. This phenomena, called trafficking in persons or forced criminality into scam centers, is surging across Southeast Asia, with victims reported from over 50 countries and counting. In response, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes, UNODC, in collaboration with International Justice Mission and with funding from the US Department of State, has launched a regional campaign called Trapped in Scam Crime to raise awareness and prevent exploitation. This is a survivor testimonial video, part of UNODC's Trapped in Scam Crime campaign.
We understand it was your friend who lured you into a job scam and eventually into a scam center. Can you tell us how that happened?
In January 2023, my neighbor heard someone I trust offered me a job at the company she was working for. At the time, I was struggling financially and needed the job. I contacted her boss and was promised a good salary bonus and weekend off. The job was described as online customer service located in Manila, Philippines, helping people to invest. I was told to enter on a tourist visa and that the work visa would be arranged later. Many friends said that was normal, so I didn't see it as a dangerous. My friends had gone 2 years early, now was trusted by her boss, so I said yes. I had the job living in Indonesia and in Manila. She arranged for me to use the VIP life.
Could you tell us about the processing of your travel documents and contract agreement?
A few days before starting, the boss asked for my passport to be given to the administration department. I arranged my work visa, so I gave it. A few days later, my friends finally told me the truth. I was expected to run online scan following scripts and instructions from a teacher. The contract was in Mandarin, and when I translate, it didn't make sense. I told my liquid friends I want to leave, but she says it'd be fine and it was not easy to make it. I felt betrayed and unsafe, but I had no choice. I have to stay and do the job, be fired while looking for a way out.
How were people and victims treated inside the compounds?
There were many types of crime inside it, which is so punishment. Some were beaten, some electrocuted. I saw people working while sick, wrecking a pole, resting only at that to that depth. In the compounds, there was also a lot of promiscuity, prostitution, and gambling were everywhere inside the building.
Can you tell us, how did you manage to escape?
I wanted to go home, but my passport was still with the company. I was lucky, since my friend held a decent position in the scam compound. Everyone she brought in could use their phone freely outside working hours. We never had one check, but we had stored them in a locker doing work. I was allowed to leave the compound to attend church services for witness before our division reached our quota, and my recruiter friend happened to have a high position there. When I had a day off, I went to church in Manila to cope. It was the only place I could try. I kept asking to leave, but they always refused. Then another friend of mine, a member from Talitakum from Indonesia, reached out and shared information about trafficking. That's when I realized this once just was wrong. It was trafficking I had to get out. With help from my Indonesian friend, for in Talitakum, I planned my escape. In late February, after asking permission to go to church, I fled to a safe convent managed by the Talitakum Network, an organization run by nuns, Catholic congregation. At that time, my recruiter friend believed I was simply attending church as usual. I was helped by someone I had just met there, a young woman around 20 years old, if I remember correctly. I had no passport and nothing left, but with support from Talitakum and IGM, I made it home safely in early April. Praise God, I survived. The 4 other victims I heard, some victims had to pay at least 60,000 pesos to leave. The longer they stayed, the higher the fine, sometimes up to 100,000 pesos. Others tried to escape when they were about to be sold again.
What is the impact of this trafficking experience on your life?
After coming home and meeting other survivors, I realized how deep the trauma goes. Some become fearful, others drew of ending their lives after being abused. The crime and manipulation change how we think. It demands our trust and compassion. That fear stays with us.
What do you need most at the moment to help recover from the experience that you had?
Even though I have received psychological support and was able to get home, I still have a long way to go. Survival needs long-term support, trauma care, protections for treatment, justice, and job training. I believe survivors deserve a real chance to heal and rebuild home.